When European settlers arrived in the Americas, they stepped into a land already inhabited by diverse and complex Native American societies. From the coastal villages of New England to the pueblos of the Southwest, relationships between colonists and native peoples were marked by trade, shifting alliances, violence, and revolt. In today's video, we explore how these interactions unfolded, from cooperative trade to devastating war across different regions of colonial North America. Let's get started. Relations between colonists and Native Americans in the early colonial period were shaped by three major forces: trade, alliances, and warfare. Trade was especially important on the western borderlands, where Native Americans exchanged furs and crops for European manufactured goods. These trade networks, however, were constantly shifting, impacted by competition, colonist expansion, and changes in native leadership. But it wasn't just goods that crossed cultural boundaries. Disease had a devastating impact. Native Americans had no immunity to European illnesses like smallpox, and as a result, entire communities were wiped out, especially along the eastern seaboard. This decimation cleared the way for European settlers to expand westward into native territories with little resistance. Cultural conflict was also central. While some colonial efforts aimed to assimilate Native Americans, like the Puritan praying towns in New England, which sought to convert natives to Christianity, most colonists regarded American Indians as inferior and unworthy of their land or culture. These attitudes set the stage for future conflict. In the 1640s, New England colonists faced constant threats from Native American tribes, but also from European rivals like the Dutch and the French. To protect themselves, four colonies, Plymouth, Massachusetts Bay, Connecticut, and New Haven, formed a military alliance known as the New England Confederation. Though this confederation was short lived, dissolved in 1684 under pressure from King James II, it played a critical role in an important bloody conflict, King Philip's War, also known as Metacom's War, which took place from 1675 to 1676. At the heart of the conflict was the relentless westward expansion of New England settlers into Native American lands. In response, Metacom, the Wampanoag leader known to the colonists as King Philip, organized a powerful alliance of tribes to resist colonial encroachment. The war was brutal, with heavy losses on both sides. But in the end, the colonists claimed victory, culminating in the public beheading of Metacom as a warning to other native tribes. This marked a turning point. Native power in the region was broken, and English control solidified. In the very same year that King Philip's War ended, 1676, another major crisis was unfolding, this time in the Virginia colony. As settlers pushed deeper into the western frontier, they clashed with Native Americans defending their territory. But instead of support, these frontier farmers found little help from Virginia's royal governor, Sir William Berkeley, who they saw as corrupt and indifferent. One of those farmers was Nathaniel Bacon. Frustrated and determined, he rallied his fellow frontiersmen in a violent rebellion known as Bacon's Rebellion. They targeted Native American villages and, in a dramatic move, burned Jamestown to the ground. The rebellion was short lived. Bacon died of dysentery, and Berkeley regained control, executing 23 rebels. But the significance of Bacon's rebellion ran deeper. It wasn't just about settler native tensions, it also revealed class divisions between wealthy colonial elites and poor frontier farmers, and showed growing resistance to royal control in the colonies. Far to the southwest, in New Spain's Santa Fe colony, another conflict was brewing, one that would briefly drive the Spanish out of the region. By 1680, Santa Fe had a population of about 3,000, largely mestizos or people of mixed European and native descent. The Spanish colonial system relied on brutal labor and racial hierarchies, the encomienda system and the casta system, to control the region. At the same time, Catholic missionaries worked to suppress traditional Pueblo religious practices, trying to convert them to Christianity by force. The pressure finally exploded into open revolt. In what became known as the Pueblo Revolt, various Pueblo tribes united to expel the Spanish from Santa Fe, and they succeeded. For 12 years, the region remained free of Spanish rule. But by 1692, Spanish forces returned and retook control. This time, though, they approached things a bit differently. Recognizing the resilience of the Pueblo people, the Spanish began to allow Pueblo land ownership and made other cultural accommodations. These changes led to greater stability and marked a shift in Spanish colonial policy. From trade and alliances to rebellion and resistance, the early encounters between European settlers and Native American communities were complex and often tragic. Each region tells a different story, but all point to a shared pattern of conflict, cultural collision, and contested land. The New England Confederation showed the first sparks of colonial unity. Bacon's Rebellion revealed tensions within colonial society itself. And the Pueblo Revolt stands as one of the few moments where native resistance truly turned the tide, even if only for a time. Understanding these early interactions is crucial to grasping the broader story of American colonization and the deep, enduring legacy of its native peoples. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.